Localization. I'm based in California, and I am a host to this series of Ask the Chapter video series for women in Loc. I am very excited today to welcome Sonja Olson, who is leading the Texas chapter, and we're going to be talking to her a little bit and learning more about herself and about the chapter in Texas. So, hi, Sonja.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So let's get started. If you want to tell everyone a little bit about yourself, and your career path, your journey in localization, what drove you as well to Women in Loc, and to this specific chapter as well.
Okay. I've been working in localization for about 20 some years, mostly at small service providers here, there, and everywhere. And about 10 years ago, I moved to Texas, just, following the work around the country as it leads me. And so when I was in Texas working at SDL is when the Texas chapter was founded. And when I heard about it, I was excited to join because I really think that there are a lot of opportunities or there's a need for opportunities for like formal education and organization within the industry. So I'm excited to be a part of that.
That's great.
And I'm glad that there's a Texas chapter, so we can kind of nurture the localization community here because it's growing like everything in Texas.
Of course. And you think you moved, so I think you're in the Dallas area?
Yeah, I'm in Dallas, Fort Worth Metroplex. We also have a lot of members in Austin, and we have a few members in Houston. Those are the three big urban areas where our membership draws. But a lot of people all over the state, freelancers can work anywhere in Texas. So
and there's a lot of tech companies who are now in Texas, Austin notably.
Yes, Austin's drawing them in, and some are moving to Dallas too. We see news announcements of headquarters relocating to Dallas and Austin, some in Houston.
Cool. So tell us a little bit about the Texas chapter. Where are your members coming from, like professionally, and what is the typical profile of those members?
Well, I think in general, our chapter is a little more geared towards the buyer side of things because there aren't as many LSPs in Texas.
That's true.
So a lot of our membership is buyer side, but we do have some freelancers, and we do have project managers from the LSPs that are operating here in Texas. So it's a good mix.
And on the buyer side, it's mostly tech companies that you're seeing?
Mostly tech companies.
What makes your chapter unique in your view?
Well, I think big difference with the Texas chapter for a lot of other chapters is just the sheer size. I mean, Texas is a big place.
Yes.
And so we have a lot of ground to cover, and that can be a challenge, when we're planning, especially an in-person event. Virtual events, people can log in from wherever they happen to be. But if we're having, like for the anniversary party, if we're having an event at a location, no matter where we pick, some of our members and some of our volunteers are going to have to travel to get to it.
That's true. And do you find that some people do that, are willing to actually travel?
Oh yeah, we do see people travel. It kind of depends on the event. If it's an end of year celebration, we do get a pretty good turnout for that. We did have a pretty good turnout for the anniversary party. Our first in-person event after the pandemic was in Dallas, and that was more locally driven. We didn't get many out-of-towners, but that may have just been the first outing after the pandemic too. We just don't have enough data yet to say.
Yeah, that's fair. And also, I think if some viewers are watching us from outside the US, the driving distances don't seem to bother people in the US, especially in big states like Texas and California. It's like, yeah, I drove 3 hours to go to this 1 hour event. Like, it's kind of a thing
Yeah,
that people do.
but on the flip side, if you, for example, I grew up in the Western United States and then I went east to go to college.
Mhm.
And that was something that shocked me. Like my roommate came from 3 states away and she's like, and I was like, oh, you must have been driving forever. She's like, it was an hour.
States are smaller.
I could barely get out of the county in an hour.
It's very different, yeah. So tell us about the events that you've been hosting since you've become chapter manager. What type of events have you had, whether they've been, online or in person?
Yeah, we're trying to alternate between virtual events and in-person events.
Yeah.
And when we do a virtual event, we're trying to do a more in-depth dive into a topic of interest for the industry. Like our last virtual event, we had a panel of career coaches giving some advice on, how to make career transitions or just general coaching advice if you feel like you need to change and aren't sure where to go, um, things like that.
Yeah.
So those tend to be our virtual events. And then our in-person events tend to be more networking, meet and greet, kind of the soft skills thing.
Yeah, yeah, but the social aspects, I think,
Yeah,
is a
exactly.
big reason why people join, an organization like this one is to network, to be able to meet others. So that's great that
Exactly.
you do this as well. Yeah, cool. And what are you the most proud of, having accomplished since you starting leading the chapter?
Well, I think we've been doing a pretty good job of um deciding on topics that are interesting and are also not oversaturated. Like right now we're kind of planning our first event for 2024, and
Mhm.
everyone's talking about AI. And we may
Really?
put a presentation. Yeah, I know, surprise, right? And we may put a presentation together on that if we can come up with a really compelling
Yeah,
argument.
yeah.
We don't want to be just contributing to the churn around the topic. We want to be insightful and really give people something significant
Mhm.
to talk about when we're doing a virtual event.
Yeah. Do you have members who reach out to you and ask for specific topics or make suggestions?
Unfortunately, that has been something we've struggled at. We did put out a call for paper kind of thing late
Yeah.
in 2022, early 2023. And unfortunately, we didn't get as much of a response as we would have liked.
Yeah.
But yeah, we definitely want input from our members because we want to be giving them the information and the content that they want to learn about.
Absolutely. And hopefully they'll hear you when they watch these
Yeah,
videos.
that's right. Yeah, please tell us. What do you want to know?
That's great. So you touched on it before about the 15th anniversary celebration. It was not so long ago. Do you want to tell us a little bit what you guys did?
Yeah, so it was kind of funny because we were planning a completely different event, and then the organization leadership
Mhm.
gave us the guidelines for
All
the
right. Mhm.
anniversary party, so we had to switch
Yeah,
gears
yeah.
pretty quickly.
Okay.
And what we did was we wound up partnering with some other there's a professional organization for localization experts down in Austin. It's Austin specific. We partnered with them and a couple of other of the thought leaders in Texas
Oh, that's cool.
to present an evening. It was held at a venue in Austin,
Mhm.
and we did get some members coming in from Houston and other locations. And it was pretty well attended, and everybody had a great time.
That's great. That's really nice to hear. I was lucky enough to attend the one in Silicon Valley in San Jose, and there was a lot of fun. So I'm glad that
Yeah,
you.
I think a couple of our volunteers who were at Loc World were able to
Oh,
go to
of
that
course.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's great. That's awesome. And you mentioned collaboration with other organizations. Do you also have the opportunity to, communicate, collaborate with other chapters within the US or outside of the US?
That's not something we've done yet, but we'd certainly be open to it.
Okay, all right. Well, again, if other chapters would like to do that, this is their chance to reach out to you. I think my last question is to ask you about, what you're the most excited about in the start of this new year. We're recording this at the start of January 2024. So, what's on the horizon for the Texas chapter, and what are you the most excited about?
Well, I'm really excited about the opportunity to expand our membership.
Mhm.
And like I said before, we really want to be presenting events that excite our members.
Yeah.
We don't want to be dictating the discussion. We want to be curating it and nurturing it, because that's what we're here for, right? Is to develop everybody.
Yep, of course. That sounds great. Thank you so much for your time, Sonja. It was lovely talking to you, and
Yes,
I hope that people have learned a little bit about the Texas chapter, and we'll reach out to you with ideas and suggestions, and maybe collaborations. We never know. Thank you.
I thank you for your time. I appreciate the opportunity.